Hi everyone, it's Alpha. So I've been getting some questions from people asking what's the difference between moral injury and PTSD. So this video is for you. Off the bat, they are not the same. While both can stem from traumatic events, that the pain that they cause and the healing they require are very different. As a combat veteran, and a chaplain, I have seen it all firsthand. So I'm going to break it down in a way that is practical, educational, and inspiring at the same time. If I do say so myself. If I do say so myself. Hey, just play. All right, so let's start up with some definition. PTSD, a post-traumatic stress disorder, is primarily a fear-based response to a life-threatening situation. The brain stays stuck in survival mode, replaying memories through flashbacks, nightmares, and hypervigilance, being extremely alert to potential danger. The key word here is potential. No actual threat, but potential. Moral injury, on the other hand, is not about fear. It's not about false evidence appearing real, but it's about guilt and shame. It's about betrayal that violates your core values or your belief systems. I'm talking about a boss or a close friend, or a family member, a religious leader, or how about the politician you trusted with your vote? Some of my veterans would often remember following or giving an order that ended up killing innocent children, men and women, and later having to ask themselves, what have I done? This betrayal or the betrayal can also come from self. You can be the cause of your moral injury. Yep. Do you remember the thing you promised yourself you would never do? Places you said you would never return to, but you ended up breaking your promise. Not because you wanted to, but because you had a strong compulsion. I think it's in Romans chapter 7. The Apostle Paul says, the good that I want to do, I do not. But the evil that I don't want to do, that I do. Question. Do you think Paul, the guy who wrote 2/3 of the New Testament, might have struggled with moral injury? I think so. So I say to you, give yourself some grace. Be kind to yourself so you can fulfill God's purpose in your life. This is my story. I was at a nightclub having a good old time when the Lord came and saved me. After that encounter, I made promises to myself. I made promises to God that I couldn't keep. And because of broken promises, I was torn into pieces. I was broken. I was angry with God for years. I didn't want to pray. I didn't want to preach. Or did I want to go to church? Nah. I was experiencing moral injury. PTSD and moral injury can look similar. Both can cause many sleepless nights. They can cause isolation, anxiety, depression, and substance abuse. Yeah. But moral injury often come with deep, soul searching questions like, why did I do that? How could I have let it happen again and again? Has God turned his back on me? Moral injury comes with deep questions about yourself, about God, about the community that you live in, that you trusted, but ends up causing the pain and the hurt. Moral injury is often spiritual. It's not just a psychological wound, it's a fracture of the soul. The soul feels broken. The soul feels like it has been torn into pieces. Here's another key difference: the cause. PTSD is triggered by life-threatening danger. Moral injury, on the other hand, is triggered by violation of values. Something happened that went against your deeply held beliefs. You may have felt powerless or betrayed by leadership, institutions, or even by God. When I decided to live pulpit ministry, I struggled with moral injury myself. I asked, did I abandon my calling? Did I fail those I was sent to serve? That's the kind of question moral injury raises. And trust me, the weight is real. I didn't want to pray. I didn't want to talk to God. I was hurt. But healing, on the other hand, was on the horizon. Praise God for that. You know why? And I believe healing is on the horizon for you as well. Do you know why? Because trouble don't last always. Sooner or later, your proverbial storm must pass over. It has to, because trouble don't last always. So let's talk about the healing process. Treating PTSD often involve trauma-focused therapy. It involves medication, often involves exposure work. For example, there is a treatment that I know a lot of veterans go through, which is called in vivo therapy, in vivo exposure treatment. It is where the veteran might be experiencing anxiety just going into crowded places. The mall, for example, Home Depot, Walmart. So the therapy is that they would go into these places as they feel comfortable. Just expose themselves into that type of environment. And later on, just to find out that the thing that was causing them fear was nothing at all to be afraid of. Moral injury, on the other hand, needs something more, something deeper. Moral injury needs grace. It needs forgiveness. David says, he heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. That includes our spiritual wounds, the ones that we can't see and carry in silence. God sent his son Jesus to redeem us and to heal us. So there is a path to healing, and it starts by naming what you've been carrying. It's called moral injury. I think the goal of moral injury is to keep you isolated from community. But God did not create us to live in isolation. God created us for the community. So if this speaks to you, I want you to share it with someone whom you love and need to hear this too. My name is Chaplain Alpha. And remember, until the next video, keep walking, keep healing, and keep hope alive. That's my prayer for you. Until we meet again. Bye now.